Hawaii and the whole nation is reeling from the deadliest wildfire in U.S. history since 1918. The fires in Maui have claimed 99 lives so far, with dozens of bodies like found every single day. The governor today says there are 1,300 people still unaccounted for. FEMA has been deployed. Biden has not yet visited. He has deployed FEMA. There has been an official statement, and I believe he was asked on the beach what he thinks, and he said something like no comment, which the right is freaking out about. It's probably the wrong move to say no comment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just say my heart breaks.
Yeah.
Do a Biden. He was much more of a Robinette that day, I guess. So he was, it's funny because this got reported and it's not really clear. Maybe I'm just missing it, but like not really clear like who asked him. Might have just been like some random random outlet, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a random outlet. Say something better, but it doesn't matter. Let's go into what actually happened. So this is Lahaina. Lahaina is a historic town in Maui, in Hawaii. And this is the main street that used to be like a thoroughfare, a boardwalk, beautiful. I've actually been there, and it's gone. It's completely burned. Folks just walking the street. Obviously, we know people had to jump into the water in order to survive and escape the flames. The fire only ended when there was no more to burn. So it ended in the ocean. The extent of the damage is still coming into focus. This is according to the Times, but it already is huge. 1,500 residential buildings destroyed, thousands of people displaced, nearly 100 found dead so far. And the heart of a community that has long been the gem of Hawaiian history is reduced to ashes. This was very interesting because a lot of people were like, how the hell did it get so out of control so quickly? So it seems like fire crews basically ran into water pressure issues. So they were going to hydrants, and this said, as the inferno stoked by the hurricane force gusts grew, roaring further towards the historic center of town on the island of Maui, the hydrants sputtered and became largely useless. There was just no water in the hydrants, said Kiahi Ho, one of the firefighters who was on duty in Lahaina, which is insane. And it's also like, as someone, I've been to Maui, like I went to like the touristy side. I went to like Kihei, and it's touristy as fuck. And you see how all the water is diverted from the mountain and like basically to to tourist areas, to the hotels, to the grass, to the flowers, so that like tourists like my dumbass can go and be like, yay, it's pretty, But meanwhile, in a lot of part of Maui, which used to be a sugar plantation, thanks to, the colonization of Hawaii, after the sugar plantations stopped effectively, a bunch of non-native grass was planted and brought to Maui. This grass is incredibly volatile when it comes to and susceptible to wildfires. Maui was already under like a massive wildfire watch. There was just a divestment. There was just massive divestment. And it makes sense. I mean, it's interesting that it was Lahaina because Lahaina is not a town known for big old hotels, right? It's Native Hawaiians and folks who are running local businesses.
And when I think I read that also the grass that is non-native to the area is unlikely to grow back, whereas like in California, when we have fires, like it will probably grow back because our environment is adapted to that climate. So it's unlikely to react in the same way. So it's even more devastating than how devastating it already is.
Right. And yeah, and to say nothing of like the corporations who are landowners there, it's not like once the sugar plantations, stopped, they were like, let's redistribute land. And
Right.
that did not happen.
Right.
So obviously now a lot of, activists, leaders, Jason Momoa, who like, whatever you say, dog, I will do. Just let me stare into your eyes. Like they want all tourists to stay away, which makes sense. And I think in general, it's like, yep. In Oahu, I know like Airbnbs were outlawed. It's like, yeah, good. Because they're fucking displacing people. Just like they're displacing people everywhere.
Yeah. And people were swimming in the water like a few days after bodies were found in the water, which is just like, as a tourist, like, wouldn't you even just not want to be found doing that? Like, it's so wildly disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like do the equivalent of posting a black square on Instagram,
Right.
Karen. Like, calm down. Like, yeah. So to your point, this is from Insider. This was a resident who says, you don't see our people swimming, snorkeling, surfing. Nobody's having fun in a tragedy and continuing their lives like nothing happened. She said, there's 2 Hawaiis right now. There's the Hawaii we live in, and there's the Hawaii they're living in. They're visiting it. And to some extent, that's always been the case.
Right.
But even more pronounced now. The craziest part, let's just lastly on this Maui stuff, is that there's been a video spreading of like a lightning bolt, what looks like a bolt of lightning hitting a house. So here's a little photo of it. It's like bolts of lightning hitting the house, and it's gone viral. It's been spread by this guy named Matt Wallace on X, formerly known as Twitter. Kill me. And it's basically like, guess what? The Maui fire was started by George Soros? No. The elites, which is kind of it's a code word anyway, but it was the elites because Oprah Winfrey has a luxury mansion in Maui, Bezos has a mansion in Maui, Gaga has a mansion, Bill Gates, Morgan Freeman totally part of the Illuminati, Will Smith, Julia Roberts. How did the fire know to avoid most expensive mansions? Wake up. Now this dude, like that tweet, this video I'm talking about, that's been spreading like, well, wildfire, ironically. And it got 20,000 retweets, 54,000 likes, 10 million views before being community noted. And it's actually not from Maui. That video is from an explosion in Macul, Chile, which is actually what happens when a transformer explodes, is that little sort of beam there.
I saw that, first of all, when you look it up on Twitter, all of the top tweets about the fires are conspiracy theories, which I'm shocked. But wow. Biden had tweeted, he had X'd, saying that we're laser focused on getting aid to survivors. And people are honing in on the laser focused and saying
on the Azer lay. I don't do pig Latin jokes, guys.
No, that's
well, but that's a pretty that calls for a pig Latin joke.
So they're latching onto that and saying, "See, he shot a laser and purposely started a fire."
But because it has to be, because it can't just be like, that's the thing about conspiracy theories. They're shortcuts. Yeah. I wish things were so, and you cover this all the time when you talk about cults, right? It's like, it's a shortcut for your world. Here you go. It's not legacies of colonialism, neglect, capitalism. These are systems too difficult. These are histories too much to comprehend. Mm-hmm. What about laser from thing, go poo poo or pew pew?
It's funny, it's like they're close. Like, it's rich. They're going, rich people are conspiring to shoot lasers. And it's like, it's rich people, but it's like corporations. Like, you're so close.
Your laser. Yeah, it's very much like you I don't know what the analogy is, but you just kind of like, want to reroute the baby or the horse to the water.
Yeah.
Oh, there's water. Like, oh, but there's shit here. Let me eat the shit. No, drink the water, you fucking idiot. Anyway, but sending massive love to Hawaii and to Maui particularly, and everyone needs to donate. I have. I will continue to do so. And I hope that the rebuilding is rebuilding with justice and not, again, in the service of the corporations and or lasers. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.